Hello everyone and welcome to the Great Heights finale. Let's see who finally won the top 10 of this event, because we do have footage of this last 7 hours of what the standings were, so you can get an idea of what basically happened overnight, because this did happen basically at 1 AM my time, so I wasn't unable to record it. So my shock to see who reigns supreme, and you will be shocked too, because it's someone we all know, but someone you wouldn't expect as well to be rank 1 in the Great Heights event. Hello, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy. And yes, the Great Heights event is finally done. It's finally finished, and what we're gonna do is a really cool thing. What I've got right now is the old footage of the last 7 hours. So you're going to be able to see the rankings of how much power was everyone there. And you're going to be able to see as well certain players in the ranking, and then you're going to see those certain players also potentially pushed out, which is a really cool phenomenon to see. So when we go over here, this is from, obviously, the stream. And if you look, the end hours timer is at 7 hours and 20 minutes. So you can see a good time here on when these guys are actually going to be competing. So at the moment, and this is what we were watching, and we were covering this for the last literally 4 hours, and the scoreboard stayed like this. So I went to sleep because obviously I had to go wake up. We've got a family, you guys can imagine. We've got to do stuff for the family and the kids in the morning. But when we wake up, this leaderboard changes. So at the current state, 27.5 million is rank 10, and that is FLV for server 32. So you can see him sat there at the moment, as well as a few of the other players like Asura at 28.2. You can see Dictator Tim at 28.5. But then you're going to see a couple of server 2 guys at 28.8, 29 mil, and then a load of server 32s that cover the rest, right, from rank 5 all the way up to rank 1. This is going up to 30 million to 46.7 million power, right? And the cool thing is, when you're watching the event at the live time, what you can do is as well, obviously, scroll down during these leaderboards, and you can actually see further on, you know, the guys below. So here we can now see rank 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And these guys are only 25, 20, and then it drops basically down to 10 million power, right? So you can see that the actual power gain here is still relatively small, right? A lot of people who potentially could be going for the skin are still hiding and potentially not pushing as much power. Even someone like Immortal, for example, who could potentially go in for the skin, might be set at 20 million just to see, like, let's see how high these guys actually push, and then I might make a, you know, a decision to go up into like a rank 10 or 9 spot, right? So there's a lot of crazy sneaky shenanigans that can go on, right? So when we go into the main game now, what we're going to showcase is the great events, and this is what is up, and there is going to be surprise on there, but oh boy, what a shake up this was. BDO's Longinus somehow from out of nowhere in the US times just went to 64.5 million power gain overnight, and that was within a 4-hour timer. So he could have done this in the last hour, he could have done this in the last 2 hours, and I don't know how he's done this. Maybe I can contact him, maybe he has the footage of it, and we can actually watch him and basically interview him when he goes through it, which would be a really cool video, I think, that you guys would enjoy. But you can see the rank 10 has all shifted. There's only one server 2/server 4 member, which was the Asura from Howl, which we saw, and that was 33.6 million power, which is crazy. And the thing is, I can't, in this mode, for some reason, it won't show you any of the other members of this rankings, right, which I do apologize for. But 33.6 million made rank 10, but then the jump was over 7 million to go into 9, 8, or 7 basically, and this is where it was close. 40 to 48 million made to rank basically 9 to 2. So just think 8 million power could have crept you anywhere in this leaderboard, which was a very scary thing. And Dictator Tim, if we remember, when we go back to the internet screen here, this guy was in the lower rankings, right? He was sat there waiting on a little bit less of the power than he has now, right? He has 28.5 million power in this right now. And then when we look at the mainstream, he jumped up another almost 19 million power to secure rank 3. And that is the cool thing about it, right? You can do some craziness if you've got the right trading buffs, the right runes on, like, you know, the debuff runes, should I say, the training speed runes. And all of these different effects could come in at different times, and you could just steal a place, which I think is one of the most crazy events in here, right? And the one thing I want to say, look, this is the first ever Zenith style event for a city skin, right? So this is for the Eyes of Stars, a skin for the 10% magic unit attack. Congratulations to all of those guys that have got this skin, or you might have unlocked the 30-day or 15-day, depending on your placement in the top 100 rankings, which is really cool to see. But what does this mean for you guys? Well, I think this means quite a lot, because it means in the future you can imagine there's going to be obviously more and more great height events with more and more of these style of skins. And if this kind of follows the same almost, you know, foundational path as Rise of Kingdoms does, you can imagine a lot of these actual starter Zenith skins like Eyes of Stars, maybe like a future one for the cavalry, for the archers, for the infantry, like the first ever ones, right? You can imagine once this game is about 2 to 3 years old, guess what? In the new seasons, they probably will introduce a special seasonal shop that will allow you to buy the skins, right? They've done this in Rise of Kingdoms, and it means they could do this for you guys. And as a free-to-play player, it also means a lot of cool stuff too, because it means even for myself, and yes, I'm saying this for myself, and I need you guys here who are still watching to comment below to help me about this. Maybe we as a free-to-play player try to actually win one of these events. It sounds crazy. Or maybe if you want to try and be a little bit more realistic, we will be a low spend, only buying the monthly bundle only, right? The monthly where you can clearly daily claim the 2 different bundles every day. Just those, right? If we get them every month, which is very affordable, it's under 10 bucks, right? Every month. Let's see if we could potentially win one of these events. And I have already an idea of how this can be done. I've got a really good spreadsheet that I'm going to be making up for myself to try and follow by and see if I'm able to actually succeed in this event. Because this event, again, is all about power gain, right? So the thing is, a lot of the time, I could, in theory, in a normal server, which isn't server 32, you know, not server 2, none of these super servers, but in a normalized server, like potentially like a server 400 in the future, right? Something crazy, I'm just saying out of the blue right now. But any of these servers right now that I could go into, even if we went and checked what the current server count is, if I made a new account in 254, for example, and made it completely free to play, and I actually got every single speed up, saved every single speed up, and I was in an alliance that was basically feeding me obviously more alliance chests from the spenders, as a really good free to play player would be doing, right? Trying to get into a high powered alliance to do that. Guess what? I know in an event I could easily climb at least 10, 15, potentially 20 million power really easily by powering up correctly. And that's what I think I'm going to try and do. It's going to be a very crazy task, and you guys probably wonder how I'm going to do this, but I have a strategy involved that I think could work. So what I'm going to do to end the video on the Great Heights event, which was an amazing event, and I love the ending here just to showcase the final top 10 again for the Server 32/Server 2 crossover on the first ever like power up event that we've ever been able to, you know, participate in. What I want to say is, if you want me to make a brand new account, which I am going to be making, I do want to ask you guys if you want it to be a specialist account, which is a bit of a crazy question, and I will be making a follow-up video on this. But for those guys that have watched the video all the way to the end, and you guys are the like true die-hard viewer that loves this content, if you put a comment below which type of troop you would love for me, MrSneakyy, to make a brand new account on, and we only play that type of troop and try and specialize in those heroes alone, maybe we can try and do something special, like I said, and win a Great Heights event. So, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe for more daily Call of Dragons content. And with everything out of the way, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys, and peace out.